Hey, it's your girl, your favorite paralegal, aka Cassandra Lynn, and welcome to Legal Doc Talk 24/7. I had to update the title because I don't know what's going on. It's Friday. It's Friday. So I wanted to give you guys this update before I hop into my work day. But Buzbee has finally started. What up, Heavy? What's up? What's up? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. So if y'all tuning in, let's hop right on into it. I'm not trying to take too much of y'all times. So we all know that Jay-Z and Buzbee have been going back and forth. Jay-Z's attorney has been filing everything in his mama, trying to get pretty much Buzbee off of this case, trying to deter him, trying to bring him down, trying to exploit him, all this other stuff. Last time he filed, and when I say he, Jay-Z's attorney filed a motion to dismiss as well as a motion to strike the amended complaint, stating that the complaint was frivolous and that Tony Buzbee is not even admitted in the Southern District of New York to even bring forth this case against him. What's up, Buttercup? So he has finally responded on this Good Friday. So let's hop right on into it. Oh my gosh. So it's about 3 pages. So it ain't gonna be long, but let's hop on to it. Let me see. I haven't read it. I haven't read it. So this is gonna be my raw reaction. Y'all know. All right, so by letter. So this is addressed to the judge. So by letter motion filed on December 13th, 2024. Defendant Sean Carter notified the court of his intention to file a motion to strike and motion for sanctions immediately under Rules 11C2 and 12F. If you don't know what those are, go watch. I forgot what video it is, but I broke down what Rule 11 is. As with defendant Carter's prior letters filed in his case, it is historianic in tone, but substantively groundless. Defendant Carter threatens plaintiff with Rule 11 motion based on questions raised by one single television interview concerning events occurring 24 years ago. And if y'all see how he's written it, he's putting emphasis by italicizing those words. When plaintiff was 13 years old. So the key takeaway that we need to the highlight of this letter, pretty much, he's basing all of this off of one television interview about events that happened 24 years ago when the plaintiff was 13 years old. All right, so take that. Hope that draws a little picture for y'all. Defendant Carter also asked this court to alter the federal rules of civil procedure in his favor by abrogating the mandatory 21-day rule safe harbor period without any legal support or factual justification whatsoever. So remember when he filed that letter, Jay-Z's attorney filed that letter, they're saying they was telling Buzbee needs to comply to the to their the letter that was filed. And he says he's not giving him 21 days. He's going to give him 1 day to seek admission and to amend the complaint and remove Carter from it and dismiss him in its entirety. That's not happening. There is a safe harbor rule. That's why we have the civil rules and procedures in place. So you could give the situation is crazy, but you do have to follow the rules of civil procedure. So as he's saying, it is mandatory to give them 21 days to rectify the situation. If they don't, then you file your motion to strike and your motion to dismiss and sanctions and all this other stuff. And what he's also saying is that they're asking you to let me see. Yeah, so they're asking him to do all of this and you don't have any legal support behind why you want the motion to dismiss and the amended complaint to be striked. The former is frivolous and the latter is impermissible. These are Buzbee's words. Defendant Carter's threat of the Rule 11 motion is frivolous because it characterizes run of the mill disputes of fact as proof that plaintiff complaint is baseless. None of the factual issues Carter identifies are sufficient even to grant summary judgment in Carter's favor, much less support Rule 11 sanctions. The fact that the defendant or a potential witness does not agree with or recollect the facts alleged in the complaint does not and cannot give rise to a motion for sanctions for filing a baseless complaint. Defendant Carter's threat of the immediate sanctions motion on the first whisper of factual uncertainty is just one more instance of bullying intended to have a chilling effect on plaintiff counsel, and any potential plaintiffs watching these proceedings. A Rule 11 motion is frivolous on the additional ground that expecting a victim of SA over 2 decades ago, when that victim was a minor, and as her interview revealed, also autistic, to have perfect recall of all facts is outrageous. Defendant Carter twists plaintiff's words when he accuses her, for instance, of guessing at the time of the events alleged in the complaint, such as the length of car rides. And what I read, and like I said, everybody know my stance. I'm sitting back and I am observing. But what I have read, for some autistic people, they do not have good sense of dates, time periods, dates, time. So take that into consideration. But New York courts have expressly acknowledged that plaintiffs in this type of case cannot be expected to have exacting recall and command of all relevant facts. So I hope everybody heard that. This is the key word. Every jurisdiction does some, they have their own rules. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Every jurisdiction have their own rules. As y'all see with the Luigi Mangione case, right? They first charged him with second degree unaliving, because they couldn't charge him for the first degree unaliving, and this is the first time they couldn't charge him with first degree because only first degree unaliving was charged when somebody unalives like a police officer or a firefighter or somewhere of that sort, or it has to be terroristic threat. And then what happens? They ended up charging him saying what he did was a terroristic act. So New York is totally different. So as you can see here, it clearly states that, and y'all, Buzbee is licensed in the state of New York. Now he has to seek admission if he has not already for the Southern District of New York, but he does have a license to practice in New York, so he knows what he's talking about. So I'm gonna read it again. It says, but New York courts have expressly acknowledged that plaintiffs in this type of case cannot be expected to have exacting recall and command of all relevant facts. Then he cites a case, Pasula versus the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of New York. In that particular case, it stated that we recognize that in matters of SA involving minors, as recounted by survivors years after the fact, dates and times are sometimes approximate and incapable of calendarical exactitude. In other words, it's an approximate, they have trouble, as I stated before, with dates and time. And then it says, and approving allegations spanning a 4-year window of time in which the abuse could have occurred. Now, this is a case that was in 2021, Priscilla versus the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of New York. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are having an awesome morning. All right. So there's the law. He has cited a case involving the same magnitude. I don't want to say magnitude, but the same things where somebody was SA'd involving minors that had to recall events that took place years ago. And in that case, they had a hard time with the dates and the times. So New York actually has some type of leniency, and it's not a bad thing, to acknowledge that they're not expected to recall and command all the relevant facts. All right, it goes on to say that there is no basis for a Rule 11 motion here, and if filed, such a motion would itself be subject to a Rule 11 motion in response, meaning that he should give him time to actually respond to jayz's motion. Of course, we cannot prevent defendant Carter from wasting the resources of this court and all parties in pursuing one. However, defendants Carter requests that the court shorten the filing deadline for his threatened Rule 11 motion from 21 days to 1 day is entirely improper. If the court look at that, they're looking at the rules, okay? If the rules say give them 21 days, then you need, and that's mandatory, that's what you need to do. You can't ask the court to give somebody 1 day and then come with no legal basis as to why you want to give them 1 day. You have to have support. Why should you give him and a plaintiff 1 day? Carter fails to cite any precedent whatsoever to support this astonishing request because there is none. Y'all see how he cited this case up here? Y'all see how Buzbee cited this case and have a correlation to this case. In jayz's motion, that attorney did not cite, I don't believe he cited any case. And that's what Buzbee is talking about here. Carter also fails to cite any reason why the federal rules of civil procedure should be abrogated in his favor in this particular case. Again, there is none. The 21-day safe harbor rule under Rule 11 exists to provide parties and counsel time to assess the objections being made to withdraw or modify a pleading or other paper if necessary. That's why they allow 21 days. So jayz and his attorney trying to request, bring that request down to 1 day is that's I don't want to say it's a violation, but it's not something that you are able to do. Okay. And here I love Buzbee because he is citing cases that we could go back and we could look and we could see what they did in those cases. So he gives an example of Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 11C2. So he cited Ferrero versus Gallucci, where it says the safe harbor period has been recognized by the Second Circuit as a strict procedural requirement. It is required. He also cites Star Market Management Inc. versus Kun Chung Hing Ki Soy in the Sauce Factory, and also Ferrero, and it states specifically from these cases, safe harbor requires motions to be served 21 days prior to their filing. It cannot be shortened here because Mr. Carter and his counsel request as much, whether in an attempt to play gotcha or to exert additional pressure on plaintiff or for a other reason. And like I said, y'all see the attorney, he was filing stuff back to back, back to back, back to back. And what we thought, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, he's about to bring Buzbee down. But that's not the case. You can file all the motions you want, but are you sitting here and you're providing legal citations to support the claims that you are making in this motion? Yeah, you told us that he's not following the rule 11, Yes, you told us that, he's doing stuff outside and he's not a good attorney and all this other stuff, but what legal proof, like, what did you cite to actually support any of your claims in that motion? Eliza said, there's not one thing in her story that can be verified, but yet there are several discrepancies that can be verified, and we're still supposed to believe her because she said it. Hey, everybody has their opinion. At the end of the day, I can't tell you who to believe or who not to believe. What's up, Sassy Cassie? Good morning. Woke up to snow in Cincinnati. Oh, Buzbee seems to be coming in hot this fine morning. Yeah, it's Friday. He said, Happy Friday. We're supposed to believe her because she was a minor and may not remember all the facts. She obviously misidentified Benji Madden. So how can we trust and remember who actually? I mean, once again, that is your opinion. As I stated before, yes, she's minor, but they also note that if you have worked, see, I'm a teacher, so I have worked with autistic kids, but I never knew that when you're dealing with autism, that dates and times can, even my kids told me they're not autistic, but they do a lot of reading as well. So you have to take that in consideration. That's why I said I'm sitting back and I'm observing. Sassy Cassie says, I think it's important to at least allow her case to go to discovery with what she has going on health wise and the amount of time. We can't just shut victims down. I totally agree with that. So, whether or not we agree with her story, we believe her or whatever, allow her to go to through the process, get to the discovery. Because, as I explained before, when you go through discovery, that's where you can hire experts, you could do a whole bunch of stuff to help her recall the facts. Busby did state, but that's why I keep referencing this. Go back and read this case, Pasula versus the Roman Catholic of Archdiocese of New York, and see how they rule. And that's why Tony put that there, because people are going to run with the narrative that, oh, because she doesn't recall some things, that she's, her story is not real. That's why he cited that, because the same thing happened in this particular case. And I'm talking about the Archdiocese case. All right, where was I at? Okay, so from the outset, defendant Carter and his counsel have shrilly maintained an entitlement to different rules and faster procedures, from expediting briefing on the issue of anonymity and summary dismissal of plaintiff's complaint to now a wholesale elimination of the 21-day safe harbor rule 11, which is required. In each instance, the goal has been to blur the facts and rush a decision. But there is aggressive advocacy, and then there is bad faith. Mr. Carter's latest tactics, much like his open threat to refer his plaintiff's attorney for disciplinary action, crossed the line. Moreover, outside of the courtroom, Mr. Carter has employed tactics of intimidation and harassment, even more extreme, torturous, and quite possibly illegal. My firm recently filed a lawsuit in Harris County, Texas, that details how Mr. Carter's company, Rock Nation, and his counsel have bribed my clients to file lawsuits against my firm, threaten former clients, impersonate state officials, and engage in other behavior far beyond the pale of acceptable conduct. Their tactics won't work, and they will be addressed in more detail in connection with the parties' briefing on plaintiff's anonymity. Now, we went over his lawsuit, Buzbee's lawsuit yesterday. Well, it's not really Buzbee's lawsuit. It's Mr. I believe his name is Gerardo Garcia. In that complaint, Buzbee actually provided a transcribed phone call. Shout out to US Legal Support because they always hold it down. It is a certified transcription of a call between somebody else in New York saying that they're going to pay or hop on the bandwagon to sue Buzbee. This is real life, tangible documents that actually have been put out and we can read. I wish people would stop saying that. I don't care. It's not about even being on anybody's side. It is looking at the documentation that is presented to support this is happening. U.S. legal support has no fight in either direction on Rock Nation or Buzbee. They're just doing their job. So it's an actual phone transcript that tells y'all what was happening. Somebody even posted a freaking ring screenshot, a still shot of investigators showing up at people's house. There is also funds. Somebody offered $10,000. Somebody was paid $1,000. This is real life stuff. It is happening. So we can't sit here and say, I don't care if you like Buzbee or not. The fact is, people are out there harassing folks. Now, I read his harassment law or the lawsuit against the legal malpractice lawsuit last night. Now, if Buzbee did those things, then he needs to definitely get, what's coming to him. But at the end of the day, the fact matters that people are still harassing him in regards to this particular case. Teresa, oh my gosh, are we Ken? My last name Montgomery too, girl. Jay-Z and his attorney is all about theatrics, trying to persecute Buzbee in the court of public opinion. Sounds like showboating to me. Buzbee is coming back with the law, and that's what it is. That's what it is. When I draft petitions for the attorneys, like I said, people be like, well, paralegals don't do anything. We also have to ensure that we know the law and we know what to cite, because the job of the attorney is just to review it to make sure everything is correct, put their signature on it, and we file. So yes, you have to have legal arguments in your pleading. I didn't see any. I have to go back and check, but I didn't see any. If Sean Carter is so innocent, why is he and his legal attorney going nuclear okay? It's a bit much. It really is. It really is. All right, let me go into let's see. Like Mr. Combs, Mr. Carter is rich. He's famous. He's powerful. Mr. Carter will exert all the pressure he can to intimidate and harass plaintiff, me, or anyone else. The chilling effect of those efforts is substantial, as is the potential chilling effect of a Rule 11 motion being brought in these circumstances. But ultimately, in our court system, the rules are the same for Mr. Carter and for the plaintiff. And the Rule 11 safe harbor cannot be abrogated, with on his rim. So at the end of the day, just like you want Attorney Buzbee to follow Rule 11, you also need to follow the rules of civil procedure. If the rules of civil procedure has that 21-day safe harbor that's required, Sean Carter and your attorney, you're going to have to follow the same rules. You can't sit here and try to get somebody in trouble and saying, well, he's not following the rules of civil procedure, but yet you want to tweak it to benefit you. I'm going to finish this and I'll go to the questions. Finally, defendant Carter raises the status of my admission. Ooh, this about to get good. Finally, this is what I want to talk about. Defendant Carter raises the issue of my admission in the Southern District of New York. Now, I already explained to y'all, he has a bar license in the state of New York, but I could not confirm if he was already admitted into the U.S. District Federal Courts, because there's no way for me to see it for the Southern District. So this is what he's talking about right now. Ooh wee. As with his previous letters to this court, His December 13th letter includes a substantial amount of defamatory suggestions about me, including that I am somehow attempting to circumvent the authority of this court to enforce Rule 11 against me. That is nonsense. I am a member of the State Bar of New York, and I am and am admitted to the Eastern District of New York. I intend to apply for reciprocal admission to the Southern District. What that means is he's already admitted to another federal district. All he has to do is just he just got to duplicate that and be admitted into the Southern District. So for everybody out there hollering, uh he ain't even y'all don't even know. That's the funny part. Y'all don't even know how it works. Okay? You have a state bar license where you could do in district court, county court, circuit court, all that. But then you also have the federal courts where you have a northern district court, a eastern district court, southern district court, and maybe a western district court. Just depends on where you live at. But our boy is already admitted in the federal court, and I'm happy about that. All he has to do is just reciprocate that admission to the Southern District, and he's good. So, as I stated the other night too, he's not going to be sitting here doing all of this if he was not admitted into any of the federal district courts. He ends the letter by saying, "The fact that I have signed pleadings and letters filed in this court does not reflect any attempt by me to evade responsibility for anything. To the contrary, I have signed those pleadings and papers because I am lead counsel in this and other similar cases pending in this district." And Tony Buzbee drops the mic and he walks off after he hit submit on this document. And that's it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So he addressed every single thing. He has put in legal citations to reference, to compare this case to other cases and why things are happening in such a way. Now, if we go back, I ain't got time because I got to get started. But if we go back and we can look at any of Jay-Z filings from Alex, did he cite anything to back up his legal argument for why Tony should be sanctioned or why the admitted complaint should be striked and Carter should be dismissed? I don't know. You're going to have to go in the videos and watch. Let me see. I just don't believe this is Jay-Z rushing for dismissal because he's hiding something. I think he wants this to end because mere mention of his name tied to impacts his family, legacy, and business. I do agree. However, this is a big allegation, and I do believe it needs to go through the court process. But Mr. Shapiro should know better not to be filing things without any legal citation or legal arguments. So we shall see. He is going that hard because that's his name. Destroy his name, destroy everything he built. The allegations alone is going to affect him. Yes, whether the allegations are true or not, just being tied to something like this, it takes an effect on everything. Your personal life, your business life, your associates, your family. I get it. I truly get it. But if you're going to fight back, you're going to have to fight back smart. Hiring, like, I don't know if, because I know Jay-Z probably don't sit there and call these individuals, but to sit there and hire investigators to go and I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that before. So it's kind of it as we see, we're sitting back and we're looking all of this play out. Does nobody think that is suspicious for people to be contacting another attorney's family, former clients, and offering them money to join a class action suit to bring an attorney down? I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. Antonio Barnes, hey, reason why it would reveal he got a 16-year-old pregnant when he was almost 30. Baby, I'm looking into that case because at first I wasn't gonna look into it, but then I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some investigation and pull that up because I'm gonna read that lawsuit next. I'm gonna read that lawsuit next. Buzbee has always been about the theatrics. He's now getting a taste of his own medicine, and that very well may be. And I agree with you. That's why I said in those other two cases where he misappropriated funds and this legal malpractice, if he did those things, then yes, it has to be dealt with like any other person. But however, that outside, how can I say this? We don't know the outcome because they are still going through the litigation phase. Okay. They have to go through the discovery and they have to determine whether or not he did misappropriate funds or if he did conduct legal malpractice. Okay. However, I don't think that has anything to do with this case now. The case is there's allegations that is pending against Jay-Z, right? They have to go through the process, the discovery process, to obtain any information, any documents that is associated with that allegation. And they have to go through that. I don't think here's the thing, if the case was dismissed, it's always going to be this lingering thing that did he do it or didn't he do it? Let's see. Antonio says his illegitimate son called him out Instagram about his lawsuit against himself and daddy. Yes, I'm going to get into that as well. Sassy Cassie says he won't take the test because she was a minor and they went over state lines. So many charges can come from that allegedly. Mm. Top 20 Louisiana said, I knew it. What you knew? Sassy Cassie said, that's the story on these YouTube streets anyway. I have no proof of that, just what is being said. If I'm Tony Buzbee, I'm reaching out to, yeah, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't have it's not. I mean, you could go back and forth, but at this point, doing all of this extra stuff is not going to help this plaintiff's case. He needs to just focus on, the plaintiff's case and in this Jay-Z situation and just leave it at that. What is that? Oh, that the B. I like that. He was 22 when she was 16. Ew. No, Tony is not backing down. He said he woke up on Friday and it's on. My bad. He was not near. Okay, I see what you're saying. So basically, what Spyro said is true. He's still not admitted. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. He is admitted in a federal district court in the eastern, but not the southern. But that does not mean how can I say? I can't even explain it. They're not going to dismiss a case because he's not admitted. Now, it'd be different if he had no admissions to any of the federal courts. And the reason why I know this is because I had a judge. I was working on a case with him, and I had to get him admitted into I believe, Northern District of Texas. And so I was going through all the little stuff right there. And the lady told me, oh, because he is already admitted in another federal court, we could just update and just fill out the application and put which federal court he's actually admitted in, and then we could push that through. So don't make a rumor out there talk about, oh, he's still not, admitted into the southern district, so he shouldn't even be practicing. That is not the case. He can still practice. He still has pending cases. This is not the only case that he's working on, y'all. Okay, so he still has pending cases for the southern district, but he does have a mission to another U.S. federal district court. All right, so he's fine. He's not going to get in trouble. um, Miss Diane here's a young lady. You are teaching and providing wonderful contact. We need to get factual information instead of misinformation. That is true. That is very very true. I'm all about factual information. I do not I hate misinformation. I don't know if some of y'all know, but I am an educator. So I'm a paralegal, but my first passion is teaching. So I've taught high school, and then I ended up getting my master's, another master's in education, adult education. So when I do this, it's not just to bring y'all the tea and the legal stuff and all this other stuff. I do want to educate everybody so everybody can understand the process, because we don't know. Maybe tomorrow we might be into something, and at least you have some idea of what to do or what the process would be. Top 20 Louisiana said Tony is already working with FBI and investigators for Diddy. He will exalt those resources with Jay also. Hey, yep, that part, and that's exactly what they sued. Wait, hold up. Da-da-da-da. I was like, because child, you know what? This is when everybody pay me today, so I need to know all my coins is coming in. Um, Kathy White. Oh, I heard about that. Child, he does not want to take that paternity test. Is it too late to take the paternity test? He grown now. He is facing a new lawsuit. But yeah, I'm gonna get into that. Arguably, there has never been one grape accusation story rumors from anyone. Diddy, yes. Now all of a sudden, someone comes out with a story that not one thing can be verified. But here's the thing. That is why you go through litigation. There is a process called, or not a process, a phrase called discovery. All right. Yes, there is allegations. Everything is alleged. Hold up. I need a simple definition of, let me see. An allegation is a claim that something wrong has been done, but there is no proof to support it. That's why when we draft petitions, there is a section called allegations or facts. All right. Now, it has not been proven. How do you prove those allegations? Through discovery. When does discovery come? Well, first you draft a petition, you file the petition, you get the party served, you give the party time to respond to the petition. Once they file their answer, then you enter into what's called the discovery phase. During the discovery phase, you go through, well, you don't go through. The simplest thing I could say is each party exchange information and documents. They go through there, and if they see something off, they hire experts, so on and so forth. If the other side does not want to voluntarily give up that information or produce those documents, it's called subpoena. Then you wait for the subpoena to give you whatever information, whatever documents. If you want to subpoena witnesses to come to testify and tell their side of the story, you can do that. And so each side will sit down and go through all of that information, all of those documents, take all of those statements from witnesses, right? Then they go into depositions. In depositions, Jay-Z's attorney will ask the plaintiff some stuff. Buzbee will ask Jay-Z some stuff. Once they collect all that information, they get what's called the deposition transcripts, and they go through and they pick apart certain stuff, right? Then they go to mediation and they try to work out some type of whatchamacallit, some type of agreement, whether it's payment, whatever the case may be. If they don't work it out in mediation, then we go to trial. That's the process. So that is why it's called allegations. So with allegations, I just gave y'all the most simplest term. It is a claim that something wrong happened, but there's no proof to support it. You prove that during discovery. Period. All right. That's all. That's all. I can't sit here and I cannot explain it any simpler than that. That could also be because Jay-Z is smarter than Diddy. It could also but also yeah, it could also be because none of it is true. Time would tell. That's true. Allegedly, they are saying Blue Ivy was Kathy White's daughter. If you listen to the lyrics to Daughters in her last, honestly, y'all, I don't even be listening to Beyonce. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Either way, thank you for going over these documents, answering questions, and being objective. I come to you first when I hear another. Oh, well, thank you. I love these. I'm a poli sci major as well. So I love stuff like this. So it all works out. Thank you for tuning in. Anytime. You're doing great. Teaches us a lot. Thank you. Even if he's grown, does not have any rights to know who his parent. Oh no, he is. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest y'all, with y'all. I don't even know who my father is. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm 42 years old. Don't know who my father is. My mom won't tell me, and that's okay. I'm really not checking for him. I mean, there's some days where I'll be like, I wonder who my dad is. I know a name, but it ain't. Look, life has been great, so I'm not even tripping. True, Sassy Cassie, it will break my heart if it's true. Elaine says, check out his paternity case and how him and his lawyer and the courts did the son's mother to point there. Oh, I think we might have to have a little live session with that. I am. I'm gonna look into that, Elaine. CC said Jay-Z has always been on blast from other rappers, allegations, not facts, about X with minors, no girls stepping forward with grape cases. Wait, too far. CC said it didn't just appear out of nowhere. His constituents talked about it. Ooh. That's why I said allegedly. That's why we always got to say allegedly until it is proven. um, Let me see. Run that young man his test. Okay. I mean, he has a right. He has a right. 2 years ago, Jay-Z was pushing a bill in New York to not make changes from rap lyrics. Now I know why. It was so crazy because last night I was like, after the show was the after party, and after the party is the hotel lobby. And my kids, they started singing it, and they was like, wait, who sings that? I was like, Jay-Z. They was like, oh. I was like, yeah. But hey, I'm wait. I That's why I said I'm sitting back and I'm observing, and I am just going to wait until discovery happens, and then we all can see. Buttercup says, "I know who my dad is, but I don't know where he is." Child. Oh my gosh. Teresa said, "Cassandra Gunning is my married name out of oh." Wait, Cincinnati, Ohio, out to Cassie from Cincinnati. Girl, LOL. I'm in Columbus. Shout out. Shout out. I love your show, girl. You're quite the professional. Thank you so much. Now, here is the crazy part about this. My grandpa, he moved to South Carolina. He's in Montgomery because I did not take my, obviously y'all know I don't know who my daddy is, so obviously my grandma ended up getting legal guardianship or whatever you want to call it. So I'm a Montgomery. So I took my mom's name pretty much. So my grandfather is from Ohio, and I believe he's from Columbus. So I've been doing like a little genealogy project, and I have done my grandmother's side of the family, but I haven't started on my grandfather. So we may be some kin if you are out of Ohio. That's very interesting. That's very, very interesting. Got my popcorn. Okay. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna have to dig up some stuff, and I'm gonna see. I'll put out an alert when I get into the how you say his name, Ramir. If that's, I think it's Ramir. I will put out an alert once we do that, because baby, we gotta break that down. Teresa, I'm in Mason. I hear the KR fireworks all summer long. My girl is finishing up their forensic psychology degree. Yes. Yeah, my oldest son, he's doing aerospace engineering. So shout out to the college kids. But yeah, so hey y'all, I just wanted to bring y'all that update. It's Friday, so I gotta get my work started and possibly pick up my kid in a little bit because they got early release. But thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all let me know. Hey, my boy Buzbee, everybody gets mad. It's like, how you on Buzbee side? Maybe because I'm a paralegal, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, if he's done wrong to anybody, he does need to pay for what he did. I don't want to see anybody being talked out of getting a lesser settlement than what they should, or not getting the settlement amount that they was entitled to. So he definitely has to deal with that. But other than that, I'm glad that Buzbee is standing on business. Like, he's like, don't be coming at me trying to get me sanctioned and you don't know me. You better do your research. What's up, the real is it sassafras, I think? What's up? Us Ohio folks like to relocate to the South. You're welcome, CC. Yes, y'all have a good day. God bless you guys. And like I said, keep them notifications on. To all the new subs, hey, what's up? To everybody, all my old subs, thank y'all for tuning in. To my members, what's up? To the replay gang, I'm glad y'all here. Let me read this last comment. She said, another thing, Diddy and J-Lo went to 2 after parties and hosted one. There is a video from a guy talking about Pamela Anderson at his VMA after party. If they went to 2 after parties hosting one. Girl, listen to what Jay-Z said. After the show is the after party, and then after the party is the hotel lobby. We got to listen to those lyrics because they tell us. No, I'm just throwing that out there. But yeah, so thank I'm muting myself. Thank y'all for tuning in. Definitely, have a conversation in the comments. I love to see y'all going back and forth. Just remember to be respectful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this video. Until then, everybody be blessed. I'll see y'all later. Bye.